she keeps her delay. Maybe I should start the sentence over. I'm still reading the chapter, but the video was getting too long. Then I should try to find the place where she keeps her supply of delayed action mouse maker. And if I succeeded, then I would steal one bottle of it and bring it back here. Could you carry it? I think so. It's a very small bottle. I'm frightened of that stuff, my grandmother said. What would you do with it if you did manage to get it? One bottle is enough for 500 people, I said. That would give each and every witch down there a double dose at least. We could turn them into mice. My grandmother jumped about an inch in the air. We were out on my balcony, and there was a drop of about 1,000,000 feet below us, and I very nearly bounced out of her hand over the railing when she jumped. Be careful with me, Grandmama, I said. What an idea, she cried. It is fantastic. It's tremendous. You're a genius, my darling. Wouldn't it be something, I said. Wouldn't that really be something? We'd get rid of every witch in England in one swoop, she cried, and the Grand High Witch into the bargain. We've got to try, I said. Listen, she said, nearly dropping me over the balcony once again in her excitement. If we brought this off, it would be the greatest triumph in the whole history of witchery. There's a lot of work to do, I said. Of course there's a lot of work to do, she said, just for a start. Suppose you did manage to get a hold of one of those bottles. How would you get it in their food? We'll work that out later, I said. Let's try to get the stuff first. How can we find out for sure if that's her room below us? We shall check it out immediately, my grandmother cried. Come along. There's not a second to waste. Carrying me in one hand, she went bustling out of the bedroom and along the corridor, banging her stick on the carpet with each step she took. We went down the stairs, one flight to the 4th floor. The bedroom on the other side of the corridor had their numbers painted on the doors in gold. Here it is, my grandmother cried. Number 454. She tried the door. It was locked, of course. She looked up and down the long, empty corridor. I do believe you're right, she said. This room is most certainly directly below yours. She marched back along the corridor, counting the number of doors from the Grand High Witch's room to the staircase. There were 6. She climbed back up to the 5th floor and repeated this exercise. She is directly below you, my grandmother cried out. Her room is right below yours. She carried me back in my own bedroom and went once again to the balcony. That's her balcony right there, she said. And what's more, the door from her balcony into her bedroom is wide open. How are you going to climb down? I don't know, I said. Our rooms are in the front of the hotel, and they look down onto the beach and the sea. Immediately below my balcony, thousands of feet below, I could see a fence of spiked railings. If I fell, I'd be a goner. I've got it, my grandmother cried. With me in her hand, she rushed back to her own room and began rummaging in the chest of drawers. She came out with a ball of blue knitting wool. One end of it was attached to some needles and a half-finished sock that she had been knitting for me. This is perfect, she said. I shall put you in the sock and lower you down to the Grand High Witch's balcony. But we must hurry. Any moment now, that monster will be returning to her room. All right, it's getting good now. We're almost to the end. It's not too much left, but I hope you're enjoying the book. I know I am. I love this one. It's just so fun and silly and funny, and I love how Roald Dahl writes, and I love how I love how much personality he gives his characters, especially the children.